From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And here's a live look at 4:30 down in Bloomington, showing a fresh blanket of snow on the Indiana University campus. Working for you, we're watching the skies and the roads to make sure you get out the door on time.
What happens if a snowplow destroys your mailbox? WRTV Investigates is getting answers for dozens of homeowners in one central Indiana county.
State lawmakers sending a message to Governor Holcomb and to those renting from landlords. A vote potentially leading to a long-term impact on anyone who has signed a lease. Here at 4:30, I want to thank you for joining our team here on this Tuesday. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Megan Shin, and the snow is definitely something to deal with today. Todd, give us an impact on exactly how bad it's going to be.
Yeah, it's making its way through the area. It's been falling throughout the overnight hours. The good news is it's starting to make its way out of the area. So that's at least some decent news as we start to get into the morning commute here, but lots of school delays, lots of school closures out there, especially in southern locations where you've picked up 3, even 4 inches of snow. The snowfall totals have been a lot less to the north. Here's where we stand right now. The snow getting ready to wrap up here in the metro area. Still have a little while to go from Greenfield to Newcastle to Richmond, down into the Rushville area. The snow finally coming to an end in Bloomington, and then we'll continue to have snow here in Columbus, back into the Greensburg area as this wave of moisture continues to work its way through. We have winter weather advisories across much of southern portions of Indiana, upgrades to winter storm warnings as you work your way towards Cincinnati. And then there's some snow showers to the north, and we're just stuck in this pattern where we'll continue to have very cold temperatures and periodically these waves of snow coming through. Now today's is a little more intense compared to what we've seen in those southern locations, so just again give yourself some extra time. Teens and 20s this morning. Wind chill values are sitting in the single digits in a bunch of locations, and as we work our way throughout the course of the day, this winter weather advisory, which is the counties you see in purple, does not include Indianapolis. That'll start to drop off, and then here's the winter storm warnings as you work your way into the Cincinnati area. By 8 a.m. rather, we're just going to probably be dealing with a flurry or two here or there, and that will be the case throughout the remainder of the day. With chilly temperatures, Lauren, highs once again today only in the mid-20s.
And thank you so much, Todd. The snow-covered roads are leading to a number of school closings and delays this morning. North Lawrence schools, Brown County schools, and Jennings County schools are among those on the list. You can find a complete list of school closures and delays scrolling at the bottom of your screen. They're also on the WRTV app and Storm Shield app. Lauren?
Let's take a look at the roads right now, taking you down here to Johnson County, I-65. This is near County Road 250 South. You can see that the interstate lanes have been cleared of snow for the most part, but you can see a lot of snowfall happen down in that area. As you can see there in the grass, it's pretty deep. So keep that in mind as you're traveling through the area. I just took a look at the map, and down in Johnson County, I-65 is moving a little bit slower than normal. So plan ahead for that if that's part of your commute. Let's take a look over right now at a crash. This is on the west side of town. You can see in the lights there, the snowfall coming down still at this hour. A wrecker on the scene working this crash on westbound I-70 at I-465. We have a left lane closure at this time. This is on that flyover ramp area, so you can see traffic is still getting by in the opposite direction. We'll continue to keep a close eye out for any crashes or delays throughout the morning. And we know a fresh round of yellow INDOT plows are out on the roads at this hour. You may see them. 55 new INDOT drivers here in the metro area started a 12-hour shift at 4 o'clock this morning. Fresh drivers are also coming on in the southern areas where that snow is a little bit heavier. Department of Transportation officials say when the temperatures drop below 20 degrees, it impacts how treatments like salt work. They say you'll want to give yourself some extra time as you prepare for your day.
When events are colder like this, we have to use a ton more salt to get it to be to the effectiveness level that we like it, so we can plow the snow right off the road and keep all the roads clear.
So INDOT reminds drivers this morning not to crowd the plow, leave plenty of space so the drivers can keep the roads clear for you. And here in downtown Indy, the Indy Snow Force is also out treating the roads around Indianapolis. Snow Force crews will be working through at least the morning drive. Remember, you can track where the DPW trucks are in real time by using the Indy Snow Force viewer that's on the city's website.
Now to developing news from overnight. Metro police officers are investigating a man's death on the city's southwest side. Just before 1 this morning, they were called to a home on Westbrook Avenue. When officers arrived, they say they found a man in the back of the home with what they believe to be gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene. This morning, investigators have not released any information surrounding the suspect.
Also developing from overnight, police are investigating a shooting at an apartment on the city's northwest side. That shooting happened around midnight on Wildflower Circle. That's in the woods of Eagle Creek Apartments near 56 and Georgetown Road. Police say two men were at a get-together when an argument started. The man shot the other man. The victim was taken to the hospital in serious condition.
Homeowners in Hendricks County are trying to get money to replace their mailboxes after they say they were taken out by snow plows. WRTV Investigates checked with the Hendricks County engineer, and he told us they received 32 mailbox replacement claims since it snowed on January 31st. Typically, the county averages 13 mailbox claims per year. Homeowners with a damaged mailbox can file a claim and get $40 to put towards a replacement.
$40 is an absolute insult, to be honest. It's a joke that that's all they're willing to pay. And even if I can show them the cost of my mailbox, it's disappointing that they won't even take that into consideration.
Seems like a really low number to me. And so my mailbox alone was $65, not talking about the post or the numbers or the install or any of that. It just seemed extremely low.
Hendricks County engineer John Ayers says they're working to increase the $40 reimbursement amount. The county points out they typically plow 775 miles and pass an estimated 40,000 mailboxes, Lauren.
Well, here at 4:36, after a crowd of pro-Trump insurrectionists stormed the Capitol, Democrats are looking to hold the former president accountable. This morning, and ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports that the former president's defense argues this trial is unconstitutional.
The rules are set for the historic and second impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump, each side getting 16 hours over 2 days to make their case. If impeachment managers decide they want witnesses, there will be a vote.
President Trump's lawyers have agreed to a bipartisan resolution to govern the structure and timing of the impending trial.
Senators now becoming jurors as Trump faces one article of impeachment accused of being singularly responsible for the January 6th deadly attack on the Capitol. And it's videos like these where Democrats are expected to focus their efforts, using them to argue the rioters were inspired by Trump's own words that day to storm the Capitol.
If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Trump himself won't testify. His defense, however, will argue Trump's words are protected under the First Amendment. In a legal brief filed this week, Trump's defense asserting Trump did not direct anyone to commit lawless actions, adding those who did so of their own accord, and citing these words from Trump's speech as proof.
Everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
And unlike Trump's first impeachment trial, which was split down party lines, here 10 GOP House lawmakers voted to impeach, including Republican Adam Kinzinger. Ahead of the trial, Kinzinger writing a scathing op-ed in the Washington Post, urging Senate Republicans to break party lines and vote to convict the former president, saying it is necessary to save America and the trial is a matter of accountability. But most other GOP senators have already showed strong support for Trump, calling the trial counterproductive. A conviction is unlikely. And right before his trial, officials in Georgia announcing they're launching an investigation into Trump and a phone call he had with election officials there. That probe likely to be a part of the Democrats' impeachment case here. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
Andrew, thank you. Covering the State House this morning, the Indiana Senate voted to override Governor Eric Holcomb's veto of a controversial landlord-tenant relations bill. The bill prevents any city or town in Indiana from regulating landlord and tenant interactions. That ranges from the screening process used to approve tenants and security deposits and lease applications. If this bill becomes law, it would void an Indianapolis ordinance requiring landlords to give tenants a notice of their rights and responsibilities. A senator we talked with says this follows a familiar pattern at the State House.
This is another attack on Marion County in the city of Indianapolis. I commend our city county councilors who recognized that Indianapolis is second behind New York City in terms of evictions, and that they tried to put some, restrictions and some ordinances in place to protect some of these, tenants.
These pictures show some of the terrible conditions renters are dealing with here in Indiana. That's why Senator J.D. Ford says cities and towns should be able to put protections in place for renters. Governor Eric Holcomb released a statement saying, quote, "I remain confident in my past decision to veto Senate Enrolled Act 148 last year. To be sure, we are still navigating through this once-in-a-century pandemic, and therefore I still believe this is not the right time for the overly broad language to have become law," end quote.
The time right now is 4:40. Let's turn our attention to the coronavirus pandemic and its continued impact on our state. This morning, state health officials report less than 1,100 new cases of COVID-19. So far this month, there have been more than 12,500 new cases of the virus in Indiana. Health officials also report 58 more Hoosiers have died with the virus. 163 Hoosiers have died with the coronavirus so far this month. So far, nearly 700,000 Hoosiers have received their first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and nearly 225,000 Hoosiers are now fully vaccinated against the virus.
The Indianapolis Public Library is preparing to welcome the return of patrons into its branches. Starting next Monday, you can go into a library for a computer use, browsing, hold, pickup, and self-checkout. A 1-hour time limit will be enforced if branches reach capacity. However, the Central Library downtown will continue to have a strict 1-hour limit and use a badging system to keep track of the number of patrons.
Well, the Northern Indiana grandfather who dropped his 18-month-old granddaughter from a cruise ship window to her death will not go to jail. Salvatore Nello pleaded guilty to negligent homicide for the death of Chloe Wiegand. The incident happened in July in 2019 while the ship was anchored in Puerto Rico. On Monday, the Puerto Rican government sentenced Nello to 3 years probation. The plea agreement included no jail time and no admission of facts. In a statement, Nello said that he felt relief that he and his family can move on together. The family also filed a lawsuit against Royal Caribbean. A trial date for the case is set for April 26th.
U.S. troops and equipment are headed to Norway. Ahead this morning, the message behind the move. Todd.
And snow continues to make its way through parts of central Indiana here this morning. Most of you have snow-covered roads in a lot of areas. We'll continue to talk about how long this band of snow is going to stick around, but we also have more snow in the forecast going forward throughout the remainder of the week. We'll break it all down for you coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 4:45, and we're keeping a close eye on your roads this morning. Here's I-69 near State Road 37. You can see traffic there is moving along about up to speed. It looks like the interstates are in pretty good shape up in this area. We'll continue to keep you updated this morning. We also want you to know that a number of Indiana counties have travel advisories out this morning. Here in the metro area, Morgan, Hancock, and Madison counties, they're all under travel advisories. As a reminder, a travel advisory means you should use extra caution when going about your day. In southern Indiana, Owen, Monroe, Brown, and Bartholomew counties are all under travel watches. That means you should limit your day to essential travel only, like going to work.
Time now is 4:46. This morning, an off-duty police officer in East Chicago is fighting for his life after getting shot multiple times. The officer and 2 other people were injured in the shooting late Sunday night. East Chicago police say the off-duty officer and another man were in an argument before the shooting. At last check, both were listed in critical condition. The Lake County Sheriff's is handling the investigation. Deputies say 1 person is in custody. The officer has already had 1 surgery. Investigators say he will need to have another. Lauren.
Well, this morning, the U.S. is sending a message to Russia over its militarization of the Arctic region. Multiple defense officials say that Air Force bombers and about 200 personnel are being deployed to U.S. Air Base in Norway. The Defense Department has been concerned about Russia's actions in the region. Arctic missions has previously been staged out of the U.K. Officials say the move to Norway sends a message of shorter response time to Russia. The Georgia Secretary of State's law office has launched an investigation into former President Trump's attempts to overturn the state's election results. The investigation includes questions about Trump's now infamous call to Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. The recording of the 1-hour call on January 2nd was made public. During it, Trump is heard urging Raffensperger to, quote, find enough votes to overturn the state's election results. Now, Raffensperger is a Republican. He defended the results and the integrity of Georgia's voting system.
Pope Francis has appointed 2 women to fill roles previously held by men. One of the women will help plan and prepare major meetings of world bishops. The other was named the next promoter of the justice in the Vatican's Court of Appeals. The announcement follows an effort by Pope Francis to put women into high positions within the Catholic Church. Last year, Pope Francis named 6 women to the council overseeing the Vatican's finances. Time now is 4:48. Let's get a check of the weather with Todd Clausen.
All right, snow continues to fall here across parts of central Indiana. It's been pretty heavy throughout the overnight hours in southern locations compared to northern locations. You haven't seen quite as much, but the accumulating part of the snow is starting to end for now. There's more heading our way, but 1 to 3+ inches have fallen in southern locations. We're probably just under an inch here in Indianapolis. We'll wait to see the final number come in, but more snow's on the way and some freezing rain for tomorrow, as well as this very active weather pattern continues. We haven't gotten any major storm systems here that have dumped a ton of snow, but we've had numerous waves of snow coming through with an inch here, an inch or 2 or 3 here, like we've been dealing with this morning, and again another one tomorrow. This storm is starting to intensify, but it's moving out of the area. So there's going to be some real hefty snowfall totals across parts of Ohio, and there already are just in the Cincinnati area. But you can see we're on the backside of things. There's this one pretty intense band of snow, though, here in northern locations. So this will impact US 24 from Peru back into the Logansport and Monticello area, and then obviously US 31 as you work your way north-south through portions of Miami County. Pretty good band of snow here from Newcastle to just north of Richmond. And then we're starting to taper things off in the metro area of Indianapolis, Bloomington, and Nashville, starting to see the snow come to an end, as Columbus as well. But we could see an additional maybe coating, and that's just about it as far as additional accumulation goes in a lot of areas. Now look at the storm system. If you're heading east on I-70 or I-74 towards Cincinnati or Columbus or even Cleveland, going to be a real rough go of it, as they're just now starting to get into the heart of this storm system. Winter weather advisories are still posted from Richmond through Johnson County into the Bloomington area. They do not include Indianapolis or locations to the north. And then this is a winter storm warning if your travels take you from, say, Greensburg through Brookville over down to the Cincinnati area, where they're expecting about 4 to 8 inches of snow. Here's a live look in Bloomington right now, and you can see off in the distance a good indication that the snow has come to an end or is starting to taper off in the Bloomington area. Teens and 20s this morning for temperatures, and we are dealing with wind chills in the single digits. Wind chill values today will be in the teens, once again very similar to yesterday, as high temperatures will be climbing into the mid-20s. Now going forward in the forecast, at least today, you notice how the snow wraps up. Can't rule out the chance of a flurry or two periodically throughout the day, or a quick passing snow shower, but nothing of significance from this point forward. Now tomorrow we get back into a little bit of snow. The morning hours tomorrow are going to be the better half of the day, and then we get into the snow showers and even a little bit of potentially some icing in southern locations as some warmer air comes in. Models have not done a good job handling a lot of these waves coming through, but I do think tomorrow an additional 1 to 2 inches of snow could be possible in northern locations. We'll probably have to cut those a little bit with some mixing taking place down to the south. Once we get past Thursday, look at the weekend. Both Sunday morning and then Monday morning, we are in the negative numbers with high temperatures, Lauren, only in the teens.
All right, Todd, thanks so much for keeping a close eye on your roads this morning. As you mentioned, you may have to watch out for some snow that has been falling in the overnight hours. Crews have been out there treating the roads. You can see here on I-70, this is near County Road 700 West, that the interstates are mostly clear from snow, so that is good news this morning. Still watch for any slick spots out there. Side streets may be not as clear at this hour. We'll continue to keep you updated. We'll also wanted to update you that crash over on the west side at I-70 near the flyover ramp at I-465. That has since cleared, so that is good news. And I'm not monitoring any other major crashes or delays this morning. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated.
You can see a really good show in the comfort of your home with your sweetheart.
Enjoy singing, dancing, and jazz hands from the comfort of your own couch this Valentine's Day. A local theater company is returning to the stage with a celebration of love. It is 4:52. Stick around. We'll be right back. It is 4:56. If you're looking for a way to safely celebrate Valentine's Day, consider taking in a local theater performance right from the comfort of your own couch.
Sounds like fun. La La Love is an original show created by Magic Thread Cabaret, and it's inspired by the film La La Land, of course. This performance will stream online. The stars of the show are Central Indiana natives Corey Lingner and Melissa Schott. They say they would normally be working in New York City at this point in time, but the entertainment industry there is still essentially shut down. So they're back home for now. Lingner says the performing without a crowd will be different, but streaming creates a great opportunity for them.
The hope is that people from all over get to tune in and watch us, but yeah, especially for the folks here in Indianapolis and the surrounding suburbs, that yeah, like if there's something that you've been missing about the arts, this is a great way to tune in and not only get to be entertained by Melissa and myself, but then also to help support a local arts company like Magic Thread Cabaret.
You can see the live stream of La La Love on Thursday at 8 p.m. Then it'll be available on demand Friday through Sunday. For more information, go to WRTV.com and click on this story. Todd.
All right, the snow is starting to wind down in many areas. At least the bulk of the accumulating snow is coming to an end, although there are slick conditions across parts of central Indiana, especially to the south where the heavier snow has been throughout the overnight hours. We'll talk about today's snow and look ahead to the snow that could be heading our way once again tomorrow, coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.